This is the New Music Industry Podcast, and I'm David Angereeb. Let's dig in.
So today I'm chatting with Juno Award-winning songwriter and artist Helen Austin. How are you today, Helen?
I am good. A little tired from traveling, but I'm good.
Looks like you're doing quite a bit of performing and touring with Big Little Lions.
Yeah, we just got back from Mariposa Folk Festival. And then before I'd even got off the plane, our publisher wanted a song that was due last night, and we're doing tweaks this morning. So it's all good. It's all good stuff, but I could do with a bit of sleep too.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have all the work and your career moving forward, but sometimes, yeah, you want to get that rest too. I get that.
Yeah.
So this is actually our second go round at this. You know, we had a bit of a practice round, shall we say. My Skype recorder didn't record the interview properly, so here we are again.
Fantastic interview. I mean, it was the best ever.
Exactly. Everyone's missing out on so much great content because of what happened, but we're going to see if we can try and duplicate that feat, right? You're one of the first one of the first people that I mentioned in my book because of the articles you wrote about sync licensing, and that's kind of how I first, or I guess licensing and placements, I should say, and that's how I first learned about you. And I'll just mention those articles so I can put them in the show notes, and if people really want to delve into that deeper, they can. There's 4 steps to film and TV placement. There's next steps to music licensing. And there's 7 steps to finding a music publisher. Also, having talked to you last time, I know that this could be more of a mindset episode than a tips and techniques sort of episode. Yes. So that's why I wanted to mention those up front.
Yeah.
But they're all really great. They're all really great articles. And maybe off the top of your head, you could give us just a few tips so that we have something to walk away with for licensing and placements.
Well, those articles that I did, I mean, they're quite a few years old now, so a lot of things have changed because the music, as we all know, is like a forever goalpost changing world.
Yes.
So, wow, tips. Yeah, because when I wrote those, I was in the thick of trying to find a publisher and trying to get licensing. And now that I'm with one publisher exclusively, my life is simplified. So sometimes it's difficult to think back. I'd have to read the article probably to remember. I mean, mindset-wise, you want some tips. Tips, write good songs. No, that's too general. Watch TV is a main tip. Watch TV because you need to know what's being licensed. You need to see if what you're writing or what you're potentially writing is going to fit what people are looking for. Mm. So that's the big one. And watch adverts, as you know, as awful as it is watching ads. That's where so many of the placements are. MTV and all that sort of thing. They have a lot of music. So, they used to be only music. Obviously, it's different these days. Watch TV. So that's your homework for this week.
There you go. And those are all really great tips. Yeah, that's what I hear too. You obviously want to make music that people are actually looking for. And without that, you don't really have much of a chance of getting any kind of placements or licensing. But, it's a good field to get into. I think, from your perspective, it's not easy work, right? It's actually a lot of work to do licensing and placements work if you're serious about wanting to maybe make a living or make a good amount of cash with that, right?
It is because, and also, as there's more and more opportunities, but there are more and more people doing it. Yeah. When I started exploring it in 2008, it was on the cusp of kind of being seen as a sellout thing to do. A lot of musicians didn't do it, and so there weren't as many of us. And now, obviously, it's the cool. Everyone wants their music. Apart from the most. There are some bands that still go, no, I don't want my music on TV, and that's great if they can do that. But there are a lot of people now, so the market is a little saturated, but. My philosophy has always been you got to be in it to win it. So before I got off the plane yesterday, we'd had this pitch for it was a car ad pitch from my publisher, and he said, we said we need this by the end of the day tomorrow. So I contacted Paul, the other big lion, Big Little Lions guy.
Mm.
And he wasn't even home yet. He was in his car driving to Cincinnati. And I said, do you think we can pull this off before tomorrow at 5:00? And he's like, yeah, sure. Okay. Because, you've got to be in it to win it. You got to do this stuff. Somebody else is on Skype. You've got to actually write the stuff. Because, you could sit and go, well, I'm not going to get that because it's probably a big ad and they're trying to replace songs that they can't afford. But it's kind of like throwing darts. You throw enough of them, and hopefully one or two hit occasionally.
Well, and I think that's really an important point as well, right? You got to have the work ethic. Like,
yes.
If the call comes and you have to get a song done by tomorrow at a certain time, well, then you have to be willing to do it. You got to be serious about that craft, which I think a lot of people maybe find to be counterintuitive or maybe not as creative as they would like it to be. So for anyone that's thinking, that doesn't sound terribly creative, what would you have to say?
Well, ironically, the song that we wrote yesterday morning is probably one of my favorite songs that we've done. Mm-hmm. And we wrote it in 45 minutes. We hashed it out in 45 minutes, and then Paul got on with the production for the rest of the day. I think sometimes when you have to write, and I found this a lot because I set myself a challenge from 2009 to 10, where I wrote and produced and put out a song a week. And when you have to do it, you end up writing songs you didn't think were in you. I've never been one of those people that kind of waits for the muse or anything like that anyway. But sometimes when you have to write a song, you the stuff comes out you just don't know is there. So we wrote this song yesterday morning, and I said, I can't stop playing it. I've got it on repeat because it's like, I just love this song. And we wouldn't have written it had we not been asked for for this pitch.
Hmm.
So I say, it's a really creative way, because on the one hand, you're already given a subject matter, so you don't have to think, what am I going to write about? The subject matter is there. Mm. And then, so that's kind of half of the battle, I think. And then the rest of it is just, sometimes when you're not thinking too hard, you write something good.
Yeah, and I also forced myself to write 365 songs. So one song every day for a year. I think that was
insane.
It was insane. That was either in 2006 or 2007. I'd heard about somebody, I think it might have been like Burt Bacharach or somebody like that does that every day, sits down and forces himself to write a song. And
I get that. And you just throw away a lot of songs, I guess, when you do that, because because it's all about ratio. If you write 4 songs a year, one of them will probably be good. And so if you write 40 songs a year, 10 of them will be good. So I guess it's just about having the output, and I don't know. It works for different people, but if you're interested in licensing, like when I got the email, we were just about to get off the flight on Sunday evening, and I got this email, and I was with my daughter, and I turned to her and I went, I'm too tired. I don't even know if I'm going to get on the ferry to get me home tonight. I might not get home till tomorrow morning. But the driven side of me goes, we can do this. So I started writing lyrics on the ferry. I just thought, well, I've got nothing to do, so I might as well write some lyrics.
There you go. Yeah, and most of those songs that I wrote, by the way, were really bad, and they never went anywhere. But hopefully, artists have some kind of filter to recognize when they have something and when they don't. That isn't to say to strive for perfection, right? But I think there's also artists out there that go, well, everything I write is great. Everything I crap out is just gold.
Yeah.
And having...
unrealistic, isn't it?
It really is. Even the best of us don't always write hits. And that's just how it is, I think.
I know. I love it when this one we got on Sunday was like, the list of tracks that they gave us that, they wanted the feel of. It's like they were all of them hits. So I said to Paul, hey, we just need to go write a hit, okay? We've got a day. Let's just write a hit. But that 45 minutes, as I say, I love this song, and it's, yeah. I say 45 minutes into it, Paul said, shall I just run with what we've got? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay, go for it.
Mm. Well, it's great when things come together. But I think, like you say, when you have a focus, when you know what the song's going to be about, when you know what the feeling or genre of the song is going to be, then you already have a direction for it. And that makes things a little more focused.
It does. And that focus of we have to get this done, it feels like it really kind of makes my mind sharp.
Mm.
So I like that. I like that. As soon as I kind of switch into a different mode, as soon as I get given a pitch which has to be done really fast, it's like it's just so much easier than sitting there writing a song just for the sake of it.
I sort of view freelance writing the same way. It's always a creative challenge, but I always have a title to work with. So I start with the title, and then I go, okay, I know what this article is about, and then I begin to flesh it out. So it really is kind of the same idea. You know, you can still be creative within the context of the topic.
Yeah. And you've got a deadline probably as well. I mean, deadlines are good because without a deadline, then you could go forever. Well, Paul sent me a song that the melody and stuff like that he'd done a couple of weeks ago, and I just love it. And I was thinking, okay, I love this song so much. The lyrics have to be really good, but there's no deadline on this song. So I've beaten myself up trying to what's the best lyric I can possibly write for this song because I want it to be good, but no deadline. So it was a bit torturous.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's also a fairly common creative tendency is to obsess over things. There was no deadlines for my book, and that was one of the reasons it was 2.5 years in the making. Yeah,
you need to almost set yourself the deadline.
Yes, exactly. You need to, I guess that's true of anything that you work on, right? Whether it's music or a book, you if it's something that you want to put out into the world, then you just have to create your own limitations and boundaries for its completion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's great. So tell us a little bit about Big Little Lions and the work that you're doing in that collaboration right now.
Well, we met in 2011 at a conference in Los Angeles and didn't really think much more of it. I think there was a bunch of us were on this member success panel, so we all had dinner together. And apparently I sat next to him and very clearly said, I don't collaborate. Because at the time I'd done one collaboration and hated it.
Mm.
And I don't know why I told him that. And I don't even remember saying it because, he turned to me and go, yeah, by the way, I don't collaborate. And he went, okay, then. And moved on. And then we all became friends on Facebook. And I saw a lot of what he was doing with other people and really liked it. And so I think it was, we keep fighting about this. We don't know what date it was. I need to look back in my emails. We think it was like the summer of 2012 when I'd written this song, and I was writing a kids album, and I wanted a really good production on it. So I thought, I'll ask him if he'll do production. We'll do a 50-50 split. And he sent it back, and I really liked it. And I had a couple of other adult songs that I wanted some better production on, and so I sent him one of those, and I said, "Can you sing on it as well?" And it was just great. It just gelled really well. And I sent it to my publisher, and he said, like, you guys have to be a band. So we went, all right, well, he's in Cincinnati and I am on Vancouver Island. Why not? Let's do it. So we became a band, and we started gigging in 2014. He came over here, and since then we see each other like, I don't know, 8-9 times a year. We either at conferences or touring or festivals or something. But all the writing is done by email. We don't like writing in front of each other.
Fascinating. How does that email collaboration process work?
Well, he'll send me, one of us will send an idea, just recorded on our phone. And if we're into it, then I usually start lyrics. He'll often have an idea for a title or a subject matter. And I start lyrics, and then we just go back and forth a few times and tweak them, and until we come up with something we like. And then I let him. Then he does all the production side, so I let him have just about free reign on that.
Hmm. So is the process all pretty organic like that? You're not necessarily trying to always work towards some kind of goal with the group, or?
Yeah, it says we just write a song when we feel like writing a song, or we write a song when we get asked to write a song for a certain thing. So the songs that there's a few that we write just for the sake of it. But there was one he started, I think it was 2 years ago, and it took 2 years because every time he'd get going on it, we'd get something else in, or he'd get something else in that was more pressing and could potentially earn money. So this one song just kept getting put on the back burner, but it did make it to our latest album, so that was nice.
Mm. Now, you mentioned production. I think last time you said you didn't really see yourself as much of a producer or studio engineer, right?
Well, I did all my own production until my first album I didn't. That was in 2007. And then I was inspired by people like Iron and Wine and, the lo-fi type stuff. I thought, okay, I work within my limitations. I can do that. And I can produce stuff. It's just that Paul does such a better job on it that he's kind of broken me a little. But I still do production. Like there's a little girl that I work with who, she's, how old is she now? She's 9 now. She was 7 when I started working with her. She writes these killer songs, like really good hooks, and they're kids' songs. And we put out an album last year, and the year before, and we're gonna start recording it again soon over the summer. And so she's 9 and her sister's 7, and her mum plays the guitar, and they do this family band thing, and so I produce stuff for them because I've definitely got the capabilities for that. But when it comes to my own stuff, I guess I feel like I've gone as far as I can with ukulele and glockenspiel and stuff like that. But I just want more. So, but I'm also working with another guy. I've been writing for a 13-year-old girl in New York with another guy called Matty Amendola. And so we've been writing for her, and he might do some production on some of my older stuff as well. So I'm just always, it's always figuring it out and seeing what's next.
Oh, how did that collaboration come about?
I met him through the guy who does our mastering when we were at NAMM last year. Oh. And then he listened. Oh, he asked if we had any songs that were suitable for this girl. She's called Juliana Wilson, and she's being hailed as the next big thing. And she should be. She's 13, and she's got a voice that's a cross between Lorde and Adele. I mean, it's just a crazily good voice. And so Matty asked. None of my songs were suitable because they're a bit too grown up. So he asked me if I'd write the songs with him because, I have been she was 12 at the time. I've been a 12-year-old girl, and I've had a 12-year-old girl. So he wanted that input onto it. So between us, we wrote, I think, 8 songs of the 10 that she's recorded. So that's been an interesting process writing for her. And yeah, it's really cool. Go check her out. She's quite good.
Okay, awesome. And kind of wrapping up that topic of production. I'm the same way, right? I enjoy it. I don't necessarily claim to be amazing at it, but if you want to make music and do it consistently, and if you want to be prolific, then you almost do kind of have to do it yourself.
You do, because it's too expensive just to keep going into a studio, and I can't dominate all of Paul's time. So
exactly,
as much as I'd like to, but his girlfriend has a problem with it. He's got the best girlfriend. But I said, can I just have him 24 hours a day to record for me? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah, that's so important. You could spend a lot of money and time. And also, you don't really want to do this thing where you have a loose arrangement with a friend. I did that before, and that's kind of how my second album ended up folding and never came to be. So,
oh, no.
yeah, you don't want to take advantage if at all possible.
Yeah.
But what's your workflow or gear like with recording?
Oh, I have a Mac and an Apollo Twin. I'm reading it off the desk. Universal Audio Apollo Twin and a Joe Meek preamp and some very nice speakers that I won from a competition. I can't remember what they're called. Because they're really, really nice, and I want to give them their due. But they're so nice; they don't have their name on them. It's those things that are so kind of. I'm going to look on the back. Hang on,
okay.
On the back. Oh, Genelec.
Okay, Genelec.
Yeah. So there you go. So it's a pretty simple setup, and I've got a couple of mics. I really like the Studio Projects B1 mics, and I've had those for a long time. And yeah.
Great. And I think that's really good for anybody that's listening, that's a producer or a musician, to know that you don't need a huge, complicated setup necessarily.
Oh, not at all. I mean, the mics were like $120.
Yeah.
And my new interface was more expensive, but you can get really cheap interfaces. And I mean, my daughter's doing a lot of recording now, and she drives me crazy because we got her the Apogee mic, USB mic. It's pretty good mic. It's my kind of going away if I need to do a quick recording. I'm an away mic, and I find her. She's moved out now, but I used to find her recording in her bedroom with the mic lying on the bed. Like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm recording. I'm like, no, that's not how you do it.
No.
But she's had a placement on a TV show as well, just because
really?
she's got a nice voice, but not a strong voice. And so she, again, I'm all about limitations because I think it hones a sound. And so she does she tracks her voice many times to kind of hide the flaws, and she's got this really cool sound. And if you're interested, she's on SoundCloud under Daisy Squires. And they were looking. There was a show that was looking at one of my songs, and I happened to have sent my daughter's version to my publisher. And so he said, "Well, we have this other version that her daughter did," and they sent it, and they were like, "Oh, wow, we want that one." Now, because she hadn't recorded it properly, there was lots of background noise. So Paul, I was away, I was traveling at the time. So Paul ended up cleaning it up for her. And she got placed on Significant Mother in an ABC show, I think.
Wow, that's awesome.
I know. We're like, what? She's done some covers of my stuff and Big Little Lion stuff and Paul's stuff and other people. Huh. So yeah, she needs to learn how to actually put a mic on a stand in a quiet room.
Yeah. I mean, for all the singers out there, and for all intents and purposes, you should probably be standing so you can use your diaphragm to push out the air.
Well, it hurts. I know she doesn't. I found her in a truck once because she didn't want to hear us. She didn't want us to hear her. And
right.
I went over the house for her, and I couldn't find her, and her truck was still in the driveway. I'm like, where is Daisy? I go out and I find her in the truck recording because So it works for her, and she's found a sound which is unique because of her limitations, and it's got that lo-fi-ness to it. And if it's stuff that's getting placed, then yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, and I mean there are a lot of different techniques for recording stuff. So
there are. I mean, try to keep the background noise to a minimum, but I guess if that's the lo-fi sound that you're going for, then everything should be purposeful. Though hers wasn't very purposeful, but it should be purposeful.
That's a good point. It would be pretty hard to clean up a mix if the voice is really quiet, and you end up having to compress and boost it and all that stuff.
Yeah, but Paul managed to do it, and of course they needed it, within 12 hours, I think. And they always need things within 12 hours and then for like 6 months. But, yeah.
Yeah, and that is a fairly short production time, but it's doable.
It is. I mean, I think he had a date that night with his girlfriend. So I'm texting Jenny going, really sorry, Jenny, but I need Paul. She's like, fine, you can have him.
Right. Now, what about your career before Big Little Lions? What was that like?
Well, I was doing kids stuff. I think I was doing kids stuff. I'd done a few albums, regular albums, and then a lot of my friends had said, the more jolly songs their kids liked, and would I do a whole kids album? So that's how that happened, and that's how that got me, the Juno and all that stuff, which was really cool. But I realized I wasn't a kids performer. When I watched real kids performers, I realized that I was way too sarcastic for any of that. So, in fact, I did a kids show while we were at Mariposa, because when we were at that festival, they said, oh, would you do one kids show? So I said, yeah. And it was fun, but yeah, I was watching the people before me, and they're getting the kids to dance and do stuff. And I'm like, I'm just not nice enough for that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, prior to that, even you used to be a comedian, right? And
that's me. Yes, I used to do comedy. Yeah, nearly 20 years.
Which might explain why you're keeping me laughing this whole time. But
All right. No, apparently, coming to Paul and my family, I'm not funny anymore. So
is that right?
Close the door because I hear footsteps and stuff. So there you go. So I did comedy. I did stand-up musical comedy for many years, which was, the money was great. Ironically, with that, the money was great. But I knew it wasn't what I really wanted to do.
So what made you say, I've got to pursue music after coming to Canada?
Well, one of the we had lots of reasons for coming to Canada, and one of them was, one of the plus sides was that I could get away from the comedy circuit because it was too hard to turn down work to try and pursue music. And so I figured if I live somewhere where there just aren't any comedy clubs, then I just can't do it. And I was still going back 3 times a year for a few weeks at a time to earn money. But once I got here, I had a new baby when I first moved here as well. So that stopped that sort of thing as well. And then I just explored coffee shops, and it was just a bit more, it was just way more welcoming than especially London was, and England in general. Because Canada doesn't think it's too cool, which is, which is good because it actually gives you the space. I went to song circles and I played coffee shops, and that's all I ever wanted to do. I just said to my husband, if only I could just play my own songs in a few coffee shops. And so obviously what's happened has way exceeded anything that I ever dreamed of. So, yeah. So I've been writing since I was a teenager. So, yeah, I always wanted to write. That's the thing I always went to.
Yeah, and that's really interesting. So, you don't want to do comedy anymore, so you just distanced yourself from it entirely. That's a really interesting way to go about it. But I definitely see the perspective, having now been, having had multiple careers or multiple jobs in different fields.
Well, yeah, you get to a certain age where you have had, unless you've been in one job your whole life, it's like, you need change. Yeah.
I think I talk about that in my book, but this number just keeps going up. It's like 8 or 9 careers in their lifetime most people will have. It might even be higher than that now. So it's kind of a crazy world we're in that regard.
Well, it is, and that's what I talked to my daughter about. She's at university right now, and I said, she worried. Well, she actually not so much now, but before she went, she was, I need to know what job I want, and it's like, well, you can do a job for a while, and then you can switch, and then you can switch again, and so I think she's beginning to realize that. So she's exploring all sorts of things. So it's very cool watching that process. But I think it's harder for kids now than it was for me.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons too. I wonder a little bit about like college or university education. I mean, it's getting more and more expensive, but you're not guaranteed a position right out of school, right? So what are some thoughts on that?
I don't know much about the job world because I've never had a real job.
Fair enough.
So my husband's got a real job, but he has a real job without any education, which was a whole different thing because he dropped out and was a self-taught. He's now a software developer who, really, really good at what he does. Mm. But it was a different time then, and he could kind of talk his way into a job. Whereas now, I think you do need the education. It's kind of a catch-22. You need the education, but it doesn't guarantee you a job.
Yes,
because he didn't have the education, but that was in the early 90s when the tech sector was a whole different thing. So I don't know. I mean, I watch my daughter. My daughter's doing music because she's qualified to be a Suzuki violin teacher, and they recommended she at least get a diploma to, just have that extra theory and history on top of what she already had. So she could go and she's in a quite unique situation. She could actually go and work now and start a school of music because she's a qualified Suzuki teacher, and where we live, they're quite rare. Mm. So that was just a kind of a fluke. But I don't know. I mean, no, I don't really know because I've never had a real job.
Well, and the flip side.
I don't know what I'm talking about, really. Paul and I have this song called Make It Up As We Go Along, and that's been pretty much my philosophy my whole life.
Right. Well, on the flip side of that, though, you've stayed in music for a considerable amount of time now. So obviously you must enjoy it enough to want to do that. And it must have also paid off in a way for you, right?
I've always wanted. I mean, I did music because it was easy when I was at school, and then I carried on and did a performing arts degree because it was easy.
Mhm.
But it was. But yeah, it's one. I'm one of those people. I have no plan B. I don't know what else I'd do. There's just nothing else that I could. I mean, I like them. I manage us as well, so I can do the management side and all that stuff, and I like that side of it. But yeah, we were coming back from doing this festival this weekend, and my daughter was like, "Oh, I'm exhausted. I can't wait to go home." And I said, "Oh, I wish we were just starting it all over again." She's like, "Wow, you're doing the right job." And I was like, "Yeah, I am. I love it."
I hear that's actually one of the commonalities among a lot of successful musicians is they can't really imagine doing anything else.
Yeah, I mean, there is nothing else to do. I mean, for me, there's just nothing else. But hang on, my alarm's just gone off. I'm just going to switch off my radio.
Oh, okay.
I wish I was waking up at 11 o'clock, but no, I'm still a mum, so I had to drop off my son earlier somewhere else.
Right.
No, but I am lucky that I also have I've been married for 24 years this month, and
Wow.
so I've had this stability. I mean, it's been back and forth over the years, but I've got this, live with someone who has a kind of vaguely stable job, as stable as anybody can have. So I not just relying on myself. So I recognize that I'm very fortunate to have the room to be a musician.
Mm.
And I know, I mean, and Paul, he relies on himself, so it's a little less secure for him. I mean, it's a very insecure job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I constantly recognize how fortunate I am, because I know that a lot of people don't have that kind of that fallback of somebody with a real job in the house.
Gotcha. Now, what about the importance of social media? I'm sure that's sort of oscillated over time for you. It's been maybe more important and less important at times, and it's also changed a lot. So
it is another moving goalpost. Well, I remember when Facebook, I had MySpace, and I thought then that was just cool because I got to connect with a bunch of friends.
yeah,
And then Facebook came out, and I remember absolutely just so mad at it, going, who needs to know what who's doing all the time? Who cares? I remember ranting at my husband about it. This is just stupid. We should just be getting on with what we're doing, not telling everybody what we're doing. And of course, now I'm on Facebook all the time. And it is essential. Facebook, I mean, Twitter, I find I use Twitter because you have to.
yeah,
But I find it less of a interactive thing. I mean, Facebook is way more interactive. I know other people use Twitter differently, and it just doesn't work as well for me. But yeah, it's essential. It's essential to keep moving and use the new stuff that's out there. And it's a lot of people hate it, and I spend a ridiculous amount of time on Facebook, and luckily my husband recognizes it's part of my job rather than giving me a hard time.
yeah.
And my daughter once was like, "All you ever are is on Facebook. You don't do anything." So, well, actually, I'm researching and finding gigs, and you can find and the psychology of Facebook I find fascinating. What works, what doesn't, what gets people to click, what turns people off. So I spend a lot of time doing that, trying to figure out the psychology of it.
Yeah, and it's true. You can really get a good sense of how people engage or what people engage with by consistently posting to Facebook. But I also appreciate your perspective in the sense that, I don't necessarily post a whole lot of personal things. I would rather have people go to my website. So I'll write a blog post, then publish that over to social media. And that way, if people feel inclined to read or learn more about what I'm up to or what I'm doing, then they can go and do that.
Well, I think it's important to have some personal stuff because people want to feel like they know you. So right. I I've got kids, which are always a great source of entertainment. And I put like silly stuff up about the kids. I remember once finding a rubber duck with a Lego clone trooper up its butt. And up this rubber duck's butt, and I'm like, should I be worried? And so when things like that happen, I put them on Facebook because it's kind of I find it funny, and it's kind of it humanizes you. And so I try not to put on, hey, my kids are great because they've done this. I try to put the kind of more self-deprecating stuff. Like I was on the way home from the flight on Sunday, and my husband had texted me, said, "Oh, I'm really looking forward to you coming home." And I said, "Oh, did you miss me?" He goes, and he said, ... there are no clean dishes left. And things like that I put on because it kind of it's that is how we are. That's how we act, and it's funny how the people that took that seriously and said, like, "Oh wow, he's not very nice," sort of thing. I'm like, no, I actually came home to not only clean dishes, but clean sheets and all sorts of things. So, but just stuff that makes you human, I put on there. And right now, I'm quite politically active on there because there's so much happening politically, and because I have 3 passports, so I'm interested in. I'm an American because my mum was American. I was born in the UK, and I now live here. So I'm interested in so many political arenas. So, yeah, but again, try and keep it interesting.
Gotcha. No, that's a really good perspective, actually. So posting funny things or just unusual and different things that happen. I have some friends that are actually really good at doing that too. So
I think the balance. They say 10 personal things, one
marketing.
Marketing thing, because you don't want to turn people. And this is what I don't like about Twitter. I put some personal stuff on, but I can't put personal stuff on Big Little Lions because I'm talking for 2 of us. And so that's a tricky one. Like for my personal stuff, I can put that my Twitter thing is filled with politics and silly stuff, but yeah, for Big Little Lions, I try to figure out how to put personal silly stuff as well as the marketing, and it ends up being more marketing just because I can't talk for Paul. I can't put political stuff on there because that's not fair on him, because it's it's 2 of us.
Does the character limit somewhat factor into that as well?
Yes and no. No, not really, actually, because if I think of I'll do some retweets of my cat is sad for Big Little Lions, anything that's cat related because of our name. So I'll try and find some fun stuff. I remember I read an article years ago when Twitter first came out, and it was be interesting and interested, and I think that is important to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even when you're marketing, you've got to be interesting, and you need to be interested in other things as well, which is harder on Twitter because there's just so much. It's like for me it's a bit of a tsunami of stuff.
It really is.
Whereas Facebook's a little easier.
Yeah, no, that's a really great tip. Be interesting and interested. Very true.
Yeah,
good thing for all of us to remember.
Yeah, in life.
Yeah. Now, this is something that, I've asked a few people. Hopefully, someday soon I'll be able to publish this big post about it, but I can't really speak about it, which is why I'm kind of collecting a lot of different answers, which is, how do you balance marriage and family life with your music career?
We've been together a long time, and we got married just to keep him in England. He's Canadian, and he was about to be kicked out of the country. So we'd been dating a few weeks now. So I said, I'll marry him. So we got married. So we didn't get married for love, but it worked out. And we were dating, definitely, but not for long. So again, we've been like that. The song we wrote, "Make It Up As You Go Along," we've just been figuring it out at each stage. And when he met me, I was gigging 6 nights a week easily. So he knew, and he had a regular job. So it was different. But it was handy that we started living together so fast. Otherwise, we would never have seen each other. So he knew what he was getting himself in for. But as the musician in the relationship, I think you need to be married to someone who's really, really got really good self-esteem, because I was going away a lot. Especially in comedy, I was away with men a lot. And now obviously my main work partner is another man. And they just have to have really good self-esteem, because, because my husband is nothing but happy for me. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how we got to this point. I don't know. I don't remember if it was anything else. I mean, we certainly fought over the years, but not about careers. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm lucky or we've just managed to. We talk a lot. We talk a lot. So I think that's what you need. You need communication. Yes, I think if you're going to be a partnership. And I was telling we met this young kid, amazing musician at the weekend, Benjamin Dakota Rogers, really good songwriter. And I said, God, if I forget to text all weekend, he just says, "Oh well, I'm glad you're having a good time. If you didn't text, you were having a good time." And I was like, "Wow!" And he was like, "Wow, how did you get that?" I'm like, "I don't know." Yeah, so he's just so supportive. So I don't know how it works. I mean, I'm certainly respectful of his time, and if he says no, I respect that. Like he says, "You do not work New Year's Eve." I used to work New Year's Eve, and he said, "I don't want you to work New Year's Eve anymore." So I stopped.
Sounds like a fair compromise.
Well, it means I listen because he's so supportive that when he does have a request, I listen. Like he said, please don't go away for more than 3 weeks at a time. And so I said, okay then.
Gotcha.
And I know that if something big came up, which meant I know that he would also, it's constant communication.
And what about having kids? Does that have a major impact or make any difference for your music career?
Well, I had my first kid when I was doing comedy, which was great because I was working in the evenings and home all day. So that was perfect. And then he was home all evening and out all day. And then when we had the second one and we came to Canada, I was pursuing music, but I then had 2 kids, and it was we're very traditional. As in, he's better at earning the money, and I'm better at doing the kids stuff and driving them around and all that stuff. So we split it very evenly. I was the housewife looking after kids, and he was earning the money. But that gave me this. When I wasn't looking after kids and cleaning the house, I could do whatever I wanted, which was music. And so when my youngest went to school full time, and this was 2008, Trevor said, "So what are you going to do now?" And I'm like, "Oh crap! Do I need to get a job or something?" And that's when I said, "I'd like to pursue looking at music and TV and film," because I knew I didn't want to go away. I'd done a lot of going away, and I didn't want to do that for a while. And so he said, "Well, go for it." And so because I've had so much support, I took it so seriously. And in the moment the kids are at school, I would work and work and work and work until I had to go pick them up, and then it was switching back into mum mode. So I did that until a couple of years ago when Big Little Lies started doing stuff. So I didn't go away in that whole time, and I didn't want to. And then when now that my daughter's left home, my son's kind of fairly self-contained, and he's all about his dad, which is great. And so I go away and he doesn't miss me. And he says, I said, "Do you miss me when I go away?" He goes, "Because I know you're coming back." And I went, "Okay." I said, "That's cool. It's okay. It's cool if you don't miss me because it means I have the freedom." So I go away and, Trevor takes care of Charlie and it's all good.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, when I say it all out loud, it sounds like a bit kind of too perfect, but my daughter definitely needed me at home. I couldn't have gone away a lot while she was living here. She, I think girls need their mums. So,
right.
Yeah. So now that she's successfully flown the nest, then I can do what I like.
It sounds like it was just constant adaptation as things changed and the needs changed. But
yeah, it is. I'm going to say Trevor and I talk a lot, so there's a lot of communication and what comes next, and yeah, I think that's really important, and just to be honest with each other about stuff.
Are there any books you've read recently or in the past that have really impacted your thinking approach to music or life?
I don't read nonfiction much. You read fiction.
That's all right. You can mention a fiction book if you want.
With regards to music, reading for me is just an escape. It's something else. So, wow, I sound very unlearned. Or learned, as Homer Simpson would say. I don't know. I can't think. No, I'm I'm illiterate.
Do you listen to anything or read blog posts or podcasts or anything like that?
I don't. I'm a bit of I like silence.
Oh, fair enough.
Weird. Because once I've been doing even if I haven't, I like quiet. Is that wrong?
Not necessarily.
But Paul's got me into something. When we're traveling, he likes playing podcasts. So I've listened to a few podcasts that he's played, which I've really enjoyed them. I should probably download some. But to be honest, I like CBC so much that when I'm driving, I always listen to CBC. So I've learned a lot from CBC. They're my favorite. I was driving home on Sunday night late, and I was like, "Oh, this is just great." It kept me awake, and it was interesting. And
they do have some great programming.
They really do. I mean, there's rarely do I switch it off. So when I'm driving around, I just listen to the radio.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I know you do podcasts. I don't listen to podcasts. I should download them onto my phone for long journeys.
Well, I just launched, and originally I was going to launch with our episode together, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I guess it'll be in series 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be great. So we covered a lot of ground. Is there anything else I should have asked?
I don't think so. I think we've covered music, relationships, politics, kids. No, I think we're all good.
Awesome. And where can people find you online?
They can find Big Little Lions. You just type Big Little Lions into Google and we're all there. It's biglittlelions.com. They're at Twitter, Facebook, everything else, Instagram. And then Helen Austin. Again, I'm really easy to find. I've had my own website because my husband is in software and stuff. He bought my name years ago. So I've had my own name on for a long time. So I'm always the first on Google. These tech people are handy.
Yeah, that's important in this day and age, right?
It really is. I mean, yeah, it is.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your generosity and for coming back to do
It's my pleasure.
an encore. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening. Make sure to go to musicentrepreneurhq.com for show notes and other goodies, and leave us a review in iTunes to help us spread the word.